How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be doing LevRam from Proving Grounds practice. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with a Rust scan. I've already performed the scan, so we're going to go ahead and look at the output. And here we see port 22, 80, 80, 82, and 9999. We also see BarracudaServer.com. Let's add that to our Etsy host. And we also see Barracuda Embedded Web Server, and we see it down here for port 9999 as well. So let's go ahead and Google Barracuda Embedded Web Server for an exploit. And I actually missed something. So down here, we can see that it says DNS FuguHub, DNS FuguHub.local. So let's add this to our Etsy host as well. And when you're searching for exploits, always check exploit DB first. So we see this is an authenticated remote code execution. Open it in a different tab. And let's add GitHub to our search. And as you can see right here, it says FuguHub / BarracudaDrive. And let's click on that. And as you can see, I've already completed this box. Let's look at this. Seems to be a proof of concept here. Alright, so let's actually go to the host on port 8082 and see what we see. And we were redirected to a login page, set an administrator account. So let's try some random information. Alright, so we used admin123, administrator account save. You have successfully set the administrator account. You have enabled password recovery for your username. So let's go here. Let's just look around. So it seems like we are able to set our own administrator account, or our own account in particular. I'm not sure if we have administrative privileges, but let's go back to this proof of concept here. So it looks like we use Python. We set the exploit name, then we do -L and set the IP address, and -P for the local port, -R for the R host, and uppercase P for the R port. So let's go ahead and copy this exploit. So going through the Python script, it looks like this part is installing libraries if they aren't already installed. So just some Python libraries. And down here, we can see it says if user already exists, comment out the below lines in box. If we already have a user, we can comment all of this out. And we might have to change the extension here. And this is the URL. You always want to go through your Python scripts to see if there's anything that you need to change. Like down here, we might have to change this password if that isn't the user. But let's run this exploit and find out what it does and see if we get any error messages. So we're going to do -L and then our /0 address and -p for the local port. And let's look at our nmap scan and let's do port 22. We always want to use a open port. So we can do 22 or 80. I'm going to do 22. And then we set the R host. So -R. And we get the IP address, R port, which by default is 8082, which is where the exploit is located. And we get this pop-up box. It says user database already saved. You have already entered your credentials, so that might be an interesting file. Let's follow the proof of concept because it seemed like there were a lot of steps. If we look at the proof of concept and he did not already set this user, so we can see this is the user that was listed in the Python script, the ADM1N, and then that password that he set. So we're gonna go ahead and change the Python script. And we're gonna comment all this out because we see, like I said earlier, if user already exists, comment out the below boxes. Alright, so let's set a netcat listener, bar wrap netcat for 22, and let's press enter and see if we get a connection back. And we don't. Let's look at the error message. So it says page not found. Let's try it again. Let's enter. Alright, so let's try port 80. Same thing. Let's try 99. Alright, so checking back on the proof of concept video, we see that there is a FS directory, and we also see that written inside of the Python script. So let's try to go there, and we see that we're prompted with the login panel. Let's try to log in. admin123. Okay, and now we see this list of directories, which is a little similar to the proof of concept. And after that, we get this box in the proof of concept. So let's see what he does with this. WebDev session URL. Copy and paste the above URL into your WebDev client of choice. Split this and let's run cadaver. Alright, and here it pretty much shows you what you need to run inside of there. So let's do open, and then copy this, paste that in there. And now we can see our directory right here. We see it right here. So let's go and cd ... change the directory. Authentication required for web file services. Okay, so let's put in username and password, admin123. Now we need a Lua file, so a lua.ps1 file. It seems like the exploit automatically prints out this lua.lsp file for you. Sure you're in the right directory, and we're gonna do put lua.lsp, and we successfully uploaded the file. And let's go back to the POC video, and now I guess we just run the exploit again. And as you can see, we now have a shell as root. So the key takeaways from this machine is that when you're doing any offset boxes or any CTFs in general, make sure you are checking the nmap scans for any names. So in this one, Barracuda embedded web server, that looked pretty abnormal. So we Googled that, and when you Google it, always add GitHub to the end of your Google query. And just read the exploits that are listed, even if you haven't found some type of service version yet.